Does it count as a view if you watch it from the side? Like,
I'm not. I think so. You know, if you're gonna say, does it count as a view if I watch it IRL? Like, yeah. So the purpose of this demonstration is, let me wait for everybody to get set up. You ready, Andrew? Yeah. This will take about 30 minutes. Okay. Is it up?
It's too bright on this. That's a new one. That's a new one. Oh wait, no, you're black.
It may take a little while for it to come up.
This is Mecanim part 2.
The Mecanim part 2. Back in the gym with Mecanim.
Leg day 2.
Leg day 2.0. It's up. Okay, sweet. So I'll go ahead and close this out. If there's feedback, just let me know. So the example that I'm going to give you guys is going to be an example in convolution. Yesterday we talked about how to basically just not do your animations, because as the scale of it gets larger, it's very hard to keep track of every single thing that's going on. Okay, so we're going to do a couple of things. One of those is we're going to set up events using animations. We're going to set up a footstep event for whenever the foot hits the ground. Okay, and then we're going to play the audio related to that clip, and then we're going to show you what the alternative was and maybe what you can avoid. Okay, so we'll get started. The end result of this is to have this right here once we delete everything. Okay, so the dude's moving. We got the heavy feet. All right, so rip. Yeah. Okay, so I'll pause that. Like, this is all of the things that are happening. Okay, so the player starts off in an idle animation, and then he starts to run. Okay, so while he's running, at specific times in the run, his feet touch the ground. Okay, whenever the feet touch the ground, we need to fire an audio, so that's foot down. Okay, the reason why you definitely want to do it in something like the animation itself is because his original animation from idle was not modeled and animated against the same model. Okay, it's not the same rig. It's some kind of retargeting that's happening whenever he runs. So he's using the Unity Chan run, but then he's using his Unity Chan's fighting idle, and then he has like another locomotion from that blends with the walk, that goes from idle to walk to a sprint. There's like a lot going on. So making sure that you actually get the footstep audio to play the right time can be a bit much to kind of do it procedurally. So then he's gonna kick whenever he gets to the end. Okay, at the kick, he's going to make contact. So whenever he makes contact, there's a lot of things that happen. Okay, so an audio will fire. Another event is going to broadcast to let the camera know it needs to do some like Witcher Matrix wraparound, and then the skeleton also needs to play his animation. Okay, so there's a lot of things that are happening. All right, so we'll get started with how to get this going. The first thing that you want to do is figure out what kind of animation needs the event set on it. So I'm gonna just keep looking at you, Tony, because you keep staring at me. It's good stuff. So we'll go find the Unity Chan. Don't stop, Ben. I can feel you looking at me. Just troll less. Okay. She's still doing it, isn't he?
Yeah, he's doing it.
Okay, so Look at the chain, Ben. Look at Chan.
Thank God.
All right. So when we see Chan run, that's. I'm gonna get up again. Do it again. Do it again. Do it again. No? No one do it now, huh? Oh, that's on camera. Okay, well. All right. So look at the Chan. So Unity Chan is running, and then her feet are hitting the ground right here. Okay. So if we slow it down, rip, rip, and then right at the beginning. So what you can do is go into the events tab right here, and then basically just figure out exactly where her feet are going to hit. Okay. And then you put you would put a tick right there. So notice I don't know if you guys can see it on the thing. Like you can see the red line right here. There's a red line right here. Just trust me. So you scrape. What we'll do is we'll just delete all these events for now. Okay, so her foot hits here. So right here you can just do add event. I mean, you can right click and do, I think you can right click. Nope. So you do add event, and then it's going to ask you a couple of, requirements. So you need to give this event a function name. So what we'll say, we'll just call it foot down, like this, and press enter. Okay. We'll scrape it some more until we hit that spot. So it looks like right about there. So we'll add another event right here and call it foot down. And then we'll do one more. We'll put it at the end here. Add an event, call it foot down. So if you fill in these values, you need to make sure on the script that has a reference to the animator controller, you match the arguments. Okay. Okay. So
they can all be named the same thing, correct?
Yep. And it's gonna fire that same event, and I'm gonna show you exactly what this thing is doing. So we'll open up the Ninja little baby script. Okay, so this is the mono behavior that has a reference to the animator controller. Notice how there's like a lot of the other way that I was basically trying to accomplish this. Really, if I just set up these events manually in the animator, I just need to make a function called foot down, return type void, no arguments, okay? So in here, I'm just gonna basically do exactly what it is I wanted to do. When the foot is down, I'm just gonna play some audio, okay? All right. So we'll maximize this. We'll turn the background music off because it's just annoying. Right. Don't worry about it. So, and then they fire. So that animation clip is part of his. So like if the skeleton runs, nothing. Okay, so you don't hear anything whenever the skeleton runs. And I mean, if you want to set it up, like with the skeleton, you just need to figure out exactly what animation is being fired whenever the skeleton hits that state. And it's pretty straightforward. So his run animation here. No, I'm not going crazy. I'm doing stuff. So the animation involved with the skeleton, we want the run part of it. So this animation is this one, run. watching it. And then we just set him up the exact same way. So it's part of the, just to show you if you need another example, like it's in the import settings where you can do this, okay? Even if you change his, like if you set his motion to be the root motion node, that only affects this, so all of these values will still be available to you. So we'll put a, right there, just add one. Call it Skelly down. Run it some more. He hits. The foot down right now. Yeah, that's good enough. Okay, so this is great. Yeah, so I need to put it on the actual like skeleton guy. Which I'll do that real quick. Alright, so Skelly down. And then we'll just do the same thing that the Ninja controller was basically doing right here. What's up, Donald?
Some stuff later. I'll plug it in. So let me know whenever you're available.
Okay. Oh, I got footstep. Look at that. Yep. Get hit. Your heavy feet. Alright, so then the skeleton. Yeah? Alright. Okay, so exactly what happens whenever you do that, it's so once again, whenever you import an FBX, it takes all those all the keyframe data from the FBX and then just turns it into a Unity.anim. Okay, if you look at an actual animation inside of Unity, whenever you have this window, so if you just make a guy like you're gonna animate this thing out and then create a clip, it's the same event anim. You have the same functionality inside of here. So as soon as you have to add properties to it and make sure that you actually have curves to add this event to. You can just hit the bar again, add event, and then whenever you click on the event, you can like add your properties. Let's see if I double click this. What? Yeah, I just don't know why that's actually not giving me the stuff that I want. This doesn't do anything. If you right click. Oh, look. It's in the inspector that it'll show up. I'm not really sure how to give this thing a name. Okay, that's a fumble, so we'll just put that shit away for now. Any questions on how to get that going? It's very straightforward.
I'm probably gonna do that with my spider.
Yeah, like a spider would be a good way to go about, because I mean a spider like has all this moving around. Don't you do it, Tony? So how is everything else? Yeah,
Just to clarify, 'cause I think we mentioned it, but like, the script would go on the same game object with the animated one.
it has to be. Okay, so yeah, I'll do some technical talk about exactly what's happening. Whenever you have animations that are firing, okay, they have to fire inside the animator controller, okay, and the animator controller has a current state, okay. So there's a class called animator state info. It's all of the information about the current animation that's playing, okay. You can add an animation event manually to that the animator state info. If you interface through animator state info, you can create your own and then just plug them in, okay. The time, so like, yeah, it's great. Why don't we just make an entire cutscene sequence that just uses events? Like, seems like you can see it, and then there's no need for really programming it. You just have all of these events firing off. Well, if you blend animations together and you're firing events off on animations, it could get a bit messy, okay? Like really messy. So you want to make sure that the animation events that you do add are very clear and concise about what it is you're trying to accomplish, just as anything. So knowing that the animation events are not an end-all be-all solution, that's why I implemented what I currently have. And I'll just show you guys the code that's involved to get it, like doing the camera and stuff, wrapping around. So these guys both have like this movement script, and this is basically what you want to avoid. All right. Inside of the movement script, I'm asking the animator tons of information about what is it currently doing. Okay. This isn't very scalable because in the instance of the ninja and the skeleton, they both have two separate animations. Okay. One animation is the skeleton swinging a sword, okay, and then the other one is the little ninja dude kicking. Well, both of those are two totally separate animations. So in order to accommodate generically for both of them, you have to figure out exactly what time it is in code. So if you're going to try to do that in code, you have to come up with some variables like that map across both of them. First thing that you're going to need to know is like the animation name. So whenever they attack, you have to figure out exactly which animation's playing. So naming convention, that's going to be a problem. You have to make sure all your assets are imported correctly and they're named properly. Whenever you go to add more attacking animations, like it's just going to explode, man. You know? You going to say something? Okay. The next thing is that like the way that an animator animates things is based off of time. So if it's fixed time versus scale time versus if it's a physics-based time, there's another thing, like you can't accommodate for all of that. All the different frame rates that occur whenever you're dealing with the runtime, okay? Like people having shitty computers, you know? However, if you do it directly on the animation that's baked, like it'll always fire exactly when you told it to.
Can you change the speed of an animation without like actually reanimating?
Yeah, man. So yeah, let me just show you. So if I do, like, if I go to this little ninja guy and then slow the actual animation down. How you can't zoom in this window, man, is beyond me. Years. Unity. Help. So this is the run animation. Okay. All right. Let me make sure that I can do this because it is a blend tree. Man, how do I get back to the animation? Okay. So we'll slow the entire run down by a quarter. We'll make it 25% of. So we slowed the entire animation down, and the animation event is still gonna fire, like not as much. Does it make sense? Like, because the animation event's bound to the actual curve of whenever he runs. So like he never makes it to that part of the curve, so the animation doesn't fire.
You mean the audio?
Yeah, I'm thinking group effort. And then vice versa, you jack this thing up, make him go like Ricky Bobby time.
I'm so happy.
Run that back, all right. Run that back. I mean,
Run that back.
yo, that's his leg day. He's getting that leg day. So yeah, I mean, it's so. Notice that whenever he goes into the end of it, though, like his feet are touching the ground, but it's not firing that event, right? Do you know what that is? Like,
Doesn't never hit the ground, so it doesn't matter.
well, it's an animation event for. It's an animation.
Yeah.
It's an well, I mean, it's. I mean, he's still in the view, so it's an animation event for the run and not the walk. Like if you want it, you'd have to add an animation event for every single one. So in the case of like
So the fact that he blends into a walk at the end.
the event doesn't fire. So that may be something you want to accommodate for, okay? Like if you're blending too many animations together, and you have to set events up for each one of those items. So another solution that I've seen is basically just putting collision volumes on the feet and asking them when they touch the ground. But I mean, you're gonna get like this type of behavior whenever a person gets like, you know, whenever they slow down. Okay.
It sounds like hitting animation. It's not running it. Like run. It sounds like hitting sounds, not running sounds.
Yeah.
He's hitting the ground, dude.
Okay, so if there's no other questions, that's really it. The main thing that I wanted to cover is like this is how you can you make animations and you set up your public events, and then you just listen for them by implementing that function. The same script that's attached to the game object that has the animator on it.
Because of the fact that I know you can change the speed, if I like copied a clip, made two of the animations and made one really slow, one really fast, like I kind of want to know how to blend them now, because I could make this fighter like kind of ramp up his animation. Like if he stops
Mm-hmm.
and then starts ramping up his speed and starts moving faster and then coming.
No, yeah, I mean you could just actually you don't need two animations for that. You could just based off some conditions just speed up his animation at a certain time. Yeah, and that's exactly like right here. You figure out which animation you have, and then you get access to
Make him ramp up.
make him ramp up.
Yeah, like start off walking and then.
Well, he does. Okay, so that's the thing though. It's two different animations. Like so, the way that I programmed it is I get look. It says math. Whenever the ninja moves around, it's actually on the script for it.
I do see what you're saying. Like yours actually does have a wall.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and I calculate his velocity with this. So whenever I move him, I'm gonna do like alert from a position to a position. Okay, so the way that I blocked this thing out originally is not with the animations in mind at all. Okay, I did research on like what it actually means to like start from a place and then ramp up and then finally end. You know, like cause whenever you're taking out the blocks, and the curve ends up looking just like that. Like that. You start off slow and then you end up accelerating and then you level off. And then I just feed his average acceleration, his instantaneous velocity. I feed it in right here by querying the distance that he's traveled. Okay.
If you want to do what he's talking about, though, just add more animations to your blend tree and speed up
some of the animations.
Yeah. Well, yeah.
It wouldn't look good, but I mean.
Yeah, I mean, it would get it done. So I'll give you a little thing of if you're gonna have these two separate animations for like spider crawl and then spider super scary mode, you would want to use a blend tree. And what the blend tree does is if you look at Unity Chan right here, she's walking around. Let me pull the animator controller up. So I only have speed. I don't care about direction, but a lot of these blend trees do care about, you know, direction. Whenever you're like, so you sit standing still and then you go to turn, like you're gonna need to know that you need to like move over. But in this case, we're just walking, and this is what it looks like when the speed is at 0.1. So you'll see like you have this animation walk. The threshold is at 0.1. Whenever we break the 0.1, we'll begin blending to the actual run. Okay, so we're past 0.1, so she's kind of speeding up, and she has like a girly, like a girly run, a Unity chain run, and then we break out into like the ninja run. Whenever we get to 0.5, at 0.5 we're full ninja running. Okay, so actually the way that I said it is that like it's gonna blend from the 0.1 to the 0.2, in which the 0.2 is a full run of that animation, and then we're gonna blend from this run to this run based off of the difference between 0.2 and then 0.5. Okay, so 0.1, 0.211, and then getting it. So does that kind of help you out a little bit with that?
Yeah.
All right, whenever you go to make the blend tree, it's just you right click and then you do add blend tree to a same state.
There's also the speed variable up here.
Yeah.
The speed of the animation.
Oh, okay.
If you added
No,
more,
that's
if you add more animations to the blend tree, like watch, click or automate thresholds.
No. No, I don't want to. I'm not gonna ruin. I don't want to. Well, you know, I'll entertain it.
And then just like add some more animations.
Yeah, I'm gonna do that because this works.
You'll have to send it over.
People say, yo, man, just try that thing. Make that thing do like that.
I got what I need.
Okay. Any other questions, man? Guy, you sleep? Yeah, he's sleeping. Wait, we do a lecture. All right, sweet. So that's 30 minutes. We good.